people. I'm going to talk a little bit about the between two worlds concept, which I'm pretty sure most of you are very familiar with. Is it more than two worlds? I don't think it's more than two worlds. I think it's only two. Most of us are required to have 1 foot in each, and we are the conduit between the two worlds. Now you could look at it as a benefit. It doesn't have to be something that's causing pain. If you're going by the numbers explanation or description, if you have 1 foot on each world, then you have at your feet tips 2 worlds instead of 1, which means you have more resources to draw from. And if you come into the first world with knowledge of the second world, but without carrying some sort of arrogance because you look down on the ones who aren't aware of the second world, then you're cutting yourself off from the first world and any benefit that you might receive from interacting with that one, because it's only sitting there as a point of pride for you. And you're also cutting yourself off from the inhabitants of the first world because you feel like you're above them. And the two worlds are really metaphorical. It's not possible to say, oh, here's this one, and over here is this one. They're in the same space. And they're accessed conversationally. You access the worlds via thoughts and conversations and subtleties, mental nuanced subtlety. I would say that the first world is the one that you're born into, and the second world is what you birth out into from the first at some point, usually via trauma, and the first world stays with you, in you, as you, and also acts as almost like a relief system when the second world becomes too chaotic or too the fractalization properties of the second world become too grating or something. You know, you can return to the first world and be like, hey, can I have a milkshake? So like being able to toggle between the two is not, it can be seen as a benefit. I need to beginning to look into using a headset for these, or just get some noise baffler system that makes it so the sounds, the outside sounds or the inner cabin sounds are not the thing that are taking precedent in the video, and my voice is somewhere off in the distance. I don't want that. I want to have the conversation to be the focal point. But that's something to work on. It's kind of hot in Fresno. The two worlds they're in each other. They're inside of each other. One's inside of the other, and the other's inside of the one. So, but they do overlap, concepts overlap, and when you're speaking with someone who's, for the most part, an inhabitant of the first world, if they bring up a concept or topic that is given depth, further depth and fleshing out in the second world, and you're talking with the person from the first world, sometimes that depth that will come can be dangerous to them. It likely will be dangerous to their worldview that keeps them safely enclosed in their little bubble. But the worlds do cross-reference each other, because if you're having a conversation with someone who's in the first one and you're in both of them, then they will pick up on you if you're like holding back in saying something about a particular concept. And even if, say, they press and you continue to hold back, but you maintain some sort of friendly banter style of conversation, if they're, if they're alert enough, they'll find something in there. Like, people can be woken up from a whole collection of those types of interactions adding up on top of each other, and then eventually they'll be like, well, why are all these people holding back or whatever about this particular topic? Because it can happen that way. It does not, the awakening does not have to happen from people getting bashed with thought forms over and over and over from the so-called awake people and burning out their relationships, and then eventually, getting firmly pushed back into the matrix, or becoming fully awake in like 2 seconds and having a panic attack and psychotic break and mental fracturing and all that. It doesn't have to be that pushing of people to extremes. It can be as simple as a conversation, and a gap is noticed by someone who's in the matrix, and someone who's out of the matrix created the gap, but they're not pushing anything on anybody, and enough of these can add up to where the person will start maneuvering in their own way. That's not dangerous to them. I don't know if I explained that very well. For instance, if your person in the first world, if they're talking about cryptocurrency, they're going to see it solely as a different kind of dollar, like a different kind of money, something different. They'll see it not solely as that, but mainly as that. They'll see it in terms of the normal terminology that's normally surrounding stock trading, money markets, and so on and so forth. And then if you go into the second world with regards to cryptocurrency, you will start seeing that the term itself will gain many more identifiers about it, and many more layers of that particular story. Of course, what you're going through all the subjective filters of the people who are putting it out, but more things in general are going to be coming out about it, rather than just, oh, crypto's stock is at this point, and oh, now it's at this point. More things are going to be coming out about it if you're in the second world. I don't even know. Sometimes the thing can get so metaphysical at some points that, like, it just becomes silly. It becomes silly to dive into the pond. That's kind of how I am with cryptocurrency. I'm not completely like that, but it became to that point. Does not stop it from being interesting, though. Because as far as I know, crypto has never become something where you can actually trade for like a physical item, and definitely has not become a publicly accepted trade for a physical item or, a service. I think for the most part it has been used for the theoretical joys and sadnesses of trading on the stock market only, without any real attachment to what we call so-called real goods and services. I don't know for sure about that, but it seems kind of that way to me. But again, I've done like a very superficial glance at crypto. I was in it. I bought into it with real dollars. I think for like $2,600, and I kept it in. I kept my money in there for like half a year or something, and it wasn't the trending of the crypto stock was not interesting enough to me to like keep my money in there. And it wasn't trending in a way that, whatever happened, it led me to withdraw it after something about half a year, and I ended up losing $600 or $700. But Two Worlds. There's a good Between Two Worlds song that you can listen to while you watch this if you want. I'll put the link in the description box. This was very rambly, and for some reason I started talking about cryptocurrency, and I don't really know why. I do know why, but crypto doesn't have a huge impact to what I'm doing right now. or maybe it does. I don't know. Whatever presents itself within your mental sphere, your people sphere, your globe sphere, your fear sphere, whatever presents itself, you gotta pay attention. So maybe I need to pay more attention to crypto. Anyway, enjoy the song, and I don't know if anybody's getting anything from this one. This one was quite odd. But take care, people, and I'll see you tomorrow for 9 o'clock meditation for anyone who wants to join. I'm doing them daily at 9 a.m. breathwork meditations. So, hope everybody's doing well. Take care, and I will see you later.